Well, inventory is very low and houses are just flying off the market in a matter of hours and faster than ever, of course, this year, which can be really disheartening for the first-time buyer. Realtor Mark Abdel is here and he has a cheat sheet to make sure that you are not left standing by the curb. Make sure you get that house that you really want. And folks really want it, so they are willing to really cross some barriers and some lines. Thank you for coming in to talk about this very topical situation going on.
Thank you for having me here. I mean, this is the most robust market we've seen since 2007. It's definitely a seller's market, and prices are expected to go up 4 to 5% this year, and homes are going to sit on the market shorter than they've sat for the last couple of years.
Well, all of that's good for the economy. It's difficult if you're going to be the buyer. If you're the seller, you're pretty darn happy. And also, I think that the early spring weather that was warmer than this weekend, I think got people kind of like, oh my gosh, it's spring, let's go, even though it was just February. So, okay, so we've got some tips for you. You said you really have to make, if you're going to buy a home and you want a home, you have to make it a priority.
Yeah, yesterday was my birthday and I had a couple buyers give me a call and I had to get up and go because homes are moving so fast, and I actually sold a house right away. If you don't get out there, this needs to become a full-time job for you and you need to make it a priority. You can't just search at night or search on the weekends. Homes are getting multiple offers within hours on the market. There was a house I showed in St. Louis Park yesterday that had 3 offers within an hour and a half.
Seriously,
so things are
in 90
moving
minutes.
Quick. Yes.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Thank you very
well.
much. I appreciate it.
All right, so broaden your horizons. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of buyers are pigeonholing themselves into certain neighborhoods or certain types of houses. I only want a 2-story. I only want a rambler. You need to keep your options open. I mean, if there's a home that you can modify or renovate to have a main floor master, you can look at 2 stories. A lot of buyers are also saying, I want to be only in a certain neighborhood or a certain school district. Well, look at open enrollment and go out to different cities and see if that you might be able to open enroll in that school district.
Yeah, make sure you check because a lot of school districts are very difficult to get into.
Absolutely.
And open enrollment is not the way it used to be.
Yeah.
All right, so get rid of contingencies. So as the buyer, get rid of your contingencies.
Yeah, we call those deal killers because that's a hassle to the sellers. And a lot of buyers, you know, they think they're still in a buyer's market and they want to throw in furniture, or they want to have inspection contingencies, or they're contingent on financing, and they add all these extra things and that make it a hassle to the seller. Seller will take an offer that has no contingencies or very minor contingencies. If you do this, you will strengthen up your offer and have an opportunity to get your offer accepted.
You had a really good idea. So I said, well, you have to have an inspection. And you said, but if the house is rather new, bring a friend with you, bring a contractor with you as your house, because then they can look around as you're looking around, and then they can maybe give you some educated advice on, you know what, this doesn't need an inspection.
Absolutely. If the home's built new enough, a lot of times you'll have a 10-year warranty on the foundation per Minnesota state law. You got 2 years on mechanical. So if the home's new enough that you look at the windows, the roof, the siding, and the foundation, the rest of it's typically cosmetic. So if you have somebody in the trade in your family, bring them with. You may not need an inspection, and that'll help make your offer get accepted over another offer.
And speaking of that, you're also saying that buyers are willing to pay the closing costs.
Absolutely.
Many times.
Absolutely. In many instances, sellers are not accepting closing costs and they will not pay them because they're getting multiple offers and the price is actually getting driven up instead of down. So keep your options open and keep a clear mind on that.
Differentiate yourself. You had one little idea that you said is an old trick to the trade, but people are starting to use it again.
Yeah, and that trick is not many realtors know it. You have to be an experienced realtor, but we write on an addendum that the buyer is willing to pay $1,000 more than the highest offer up to a certain number. And so that ensures to the seller that you're willing to meet or match and exceed anybody else's offer up to a certain number, and it's working.
And you said the trend overall is that people want to come back into the city.
Yeah.
You said that, these downtown places are going really fast. I heard a number, 43,000 people live in downtown Minneapolis. I'm not sure we're talking a really interesting trend.
Yeah, I had a client that lived in North Oaks and they were an attorney and they wanted to move back in. They went from a 5,000 square foot house to a 1,000-foot condo. And that market is really robust, predicated on the fact of the Super Bowl and the stadium down there, and everybody's moving back into the city. I was at a showing on Monday, and 2 of the properties that I showed had offers accepted before I even had left the property. It was only on the market for 2 days.
Oh my goodness, it's a little stressful
Yeah,
if you're
it's very
trying to buy.
stressful, yeah.
But congratulations if you're trying to sell and you have a nice place, or even a place that's even marginally nice, right?
Absolutely.
Well, listen,
Thank
good luck.
you, pleasure. Thank you so much.
Again, happy
for having
birthday
us.
yesterday, and you can see Mark's advice again and find a link to Remax Advantage Plus where he works on KARE11.com. Just click onto the Saturday Show page.